Hi, BME. Mrs. T here. Welcome to the art room. For today's project, we are talking about the artist Pablo Picasso, and we will be creating construction paper abstract self-portraits. So let's get started. Let's first talk about the video that you watched as the introduction to the artist Pablo Picasso. It talks about who he is, where he's from, and it gives you examples of his work. If you notice, early on in Picasso's career, he painted, I hate to use the word ordinary, but he painted more traditionally. And as his career continued, he created or started a movement called Cubism. With that, if you noticed in his work, it started to change. It was more abstract. And what you started to see in his work were more geometric shapes. You'd see line and the use of color. One of the reasons why I am so inspired by Picasso, and I love Picasso, he's probably one of my favorite artists, and the reason is his use of color. When Picasso uses color, he uses it in an emotional manner, meaning he uses color to communicate with his viewers how he's feeling. If you remember from the video, they talked about his blue phase, where all of his creations had blue tones. Well, he was communicating his emotional state. At that time, he was very depressed. He was very sad and lonely, and his work communicated those feelings through the use of color. When that phase was over, he started bringing other colors from his palette into his work. And over time, he started using all of the colors from the color palette in his work. So Picasso uses color as a form of communication, which I really enjoy. I love color, and so I really enjoy the way that he utilizes color in his work. So the other thing to note about his work is his use of the other elements of art, shape and line. Although you know in most of his work you can kind of make out what he's creating, but because he abstracts it or he kind of changes it and distorts it, sometimes it's a little bit more challenging. The labels or the titles of his work sometimes really help us to identify what he is communicating to us. Three musicians, when you look at that piece, I know that's one that's in the video, you can identify for the most part the musical instruments. It might be a little bit challenging to determine that there are three people in the painting, but after you read the title, it really does help us to start to pinpoint what's going on in his work. Picasso used many different mediums. So he was a sculptor, he was a painter, he did just plain drawings, he used different types of mediums to draw and to paint with. So he's a very well-rounded artist. So let's get started on our project. I have our finished product here. This is me. I mean, hello. We're like identical twins here. But this is what we're going to basically be creating. So when I was doing this, you might think I did this with my eyes closed. Maybe I did. I don't recommend cutting with your eyes closed, though. But you could always try drawing your facial features with your eyes closed. That could be kind of fun. Sometimes artists have a hard time thinking and creating in the abstract. I know I do, which is why Picasso is such an inspiration to me, because I tend to want to create work that is identifiable, that you can look at it and say, huh, that's a self-portrait. If you were to see this in a gallery, you might not know so much that it's a self-portrait, except for the earrings. Let's be real. The earrings kind of give it away. But for people that don't necessarily know me, they may not be able to say, oh, that's a self-portrait of the artist. And so for me, Picasso challenges the way that my mind works. That's why I say maybe you draw your facial features with your eyes closed. Maybe you as well like to work more realistically. So you have to challenge yourself to figure out a way to not try to make everything look the way that we perceive it to supposed to look. I don't know if that made sense. But we're going to first start off by drawing ourselves a head. Now, I have a basket that I've kind of created that has my full sheets of paper kind of in the back, and then it has my scrap paper. A lot of it was from the Matisse project, but I've kind of kept it all just in one place. That way I just have a source to pull from, but I also have a clean and organized place to put it in so that I can save it for future projects. So I have my scrap paper. To complete this, you are also going to need one solid piece of paper so that we can glue our cutouts onto. You need a pair of safety scissors. I don't have any safety scissors myself, but hopefully you do at home. If you don't have safety scissors, I recommend that you draw all of your facial features on the different colored paper and have an adult cut those out. No matter what, please make sure that you have adult supervision when using scissors. You are going to need a glue stick. You can use Elmer's glue, or I have here like a tacky glue, which is just like Elmer's glue. You can use it, but again, it can bulk up, so make sure that it's spread out and you don't have too much of it so that it's oozing out of the sides. A glue stick will work best for this project. So to save time, I have already pre-cut out some of my pieces. So here I have my head. So I'm going to use my glue stick, and I'm going to put my glue all over it, and I'm going to glue it down on my paper. Doesn't matter where you put it. It's up to you. You can have your features and things like that all kind of loosey-goosey if you want them. Sorry, I'm going to just do this a little bit. All right. Next is your face. In this activity, I'm not asking you to make your eyes aligned, put your nose where it belongs, have a smile that matches. I want you to have fun. This is an opportunity to kind of create, a totally different look for yourself, all right? If you notice, in my finished piece here, my eyeballs, they don't look alike. My nose is like, I don't know, kind of on an angle, and it's weird shaped. My mouth is way over here on the side. I have this like kind of divider thing going on. I don't really know. My ears are in two uneven places. Of course, I have my earrings, and my hair's a little cray-cray. Have fun. Make some crazy fun hair. I curled it a little bit. I don't really have curly hair. I mean, I do, but you don't ever really get to see it. So, but I had some fun with it. And by all means, it doesn't have to be identical. It's abstract, so just have some fun. So I pre-cut out some pieces. I've got my nose here in particular. I'm going to go ahead and get that guy down. Maybe after you cut out all your pieces, just close your eyes. All right, I'm going to try this. All right, put the glue on your piece. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm just going to put it down. Hey, I put it down. And all right. For this eye, I kind of did two pieces. So let's see what happens when I close my eyes and put these down. All right. Okay, all right there. Let's see. This is the other part of that eye, so hopefully it gets pretty close. It's close. For my mouth, I did, again, two pieces. I was just kind of trying to have some fun. So we'll see how those turn out. So far, I got a little craziness here. You know what this reminds me of? Mr. Potato Head. Do you remember Mr. Potato Head? I do. All right. So go ahead and continue working on that. Get all your pieces laid out, glued on. Have some fun. You can go back if you want, add some details with marker. The point is just to have some fun, create a beautiful Picasso piece. Don't be stressed out. There's nothing that you are required to submit. However, if you want to share your finished product with me, I'd love to see it, but you are not required to. So have fun. Don't be stressed. And if interested in taking this to another level, there will be another video on a cardboard Picasso.